All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my brothers and sisters over at Patreon. Hey, it's amazing. I get back from out of country and I come back home, and all of a sudden, I run into all this chaos that's been going on the internet. The chaos and from Gina Murray to whoever these guys are, some elder, I don't even know his name or whatever it is. And then Elder Rufus had a run in with him, which he handled himself very, very well. And then we're being accused of a lot of things and stuff. Let me tell you what's going on. What you see taking place today is a seal of my pastorship. It's a seal that you are in the right place at the right time on this face of this planet Earth, because the same way that they attacked Yeshua and the same way that they attacked the apostles when they raised up false witnesses. You go over and read it in the book of Acts, and you'll see it happening right before your very eyes. They raised up false witnesses and they stirred up the people. That is the exact same thing we've got going on today. And it's kind of crazy, because when you read about it and then you experience it, it's like, what in the world? Because there's really nothing they can lay to our charge. So I want y'all to prepare your hearts. Because we really truly need to be in our prayer language and calling these people's names out. We really truly do. Because you can see that they're just simply not going to stop. What happens is you've got people like R. Kelly, Gina Murray, and all these other people. We get out here and we preach and teach and we strike a nerve on something. They try to promote an agenda that's not biblical. And then, of course, like with Gina Murray, that's a lot of people do that. They come to these places, next thing you know, they hook up with PastorDowell to get some type of interview, and next thing you know, they want to peddle their books and everything else and use Straightway as a platform. That's nothing new that the rest of these people are trying to do. Just use Straightway as a platform to catapult their particular ministry that ain't nobody really listening to. But what we're going to continue to do is, like I told the brothers and sisters, we're going to stay focused. And we're going to stay focused and stay the course, because we don't have time for all these distractions. Now, I'm going to have my security team down in Atlanta. And we're going to be there in full force. Believe you me, we'll be fine. It's just sad that we have these type of attitudes amongst our people. Now, listen, if you notice, we don't go around here picking these fights with all these other folks or something like that. But if you're going to mention Straightway, and I'm going to give you something here for a second, like Thomas Murray and them, the spokesperson and the CEO of the Murray Enterprises is Madam Gina Murray. And they go to this place down there in Atlanta. And if you notice on Michael Israel's board, you notice that a lot of speakers that he started off with, every single one of them are gone, just about, and all that is left is Straightway. Now, he does have some people up there that's going to be, doing some music or whatever, but all that's left is Straightway. And again, you're seeing the people who are very serious-minded and those who are not. Israel, we're going to experience this. People are going to always, what did Yahshua say? Woe unto you when men speak well of you. They did that to the false prophets. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you. Mind you, we're not even looking for these people. We're not even going out here starting nothing with these people. Next thing you know, here we are. So be it. But I don't want y'all all to get distracted and start, listening to every single thing what they say. The best thing we can do at this point in juncture, because we simply can't get them to meet the conditions of meeting us face to face, so we can have it, out hopefully in a very civil manner. But if you can't get people to spend time, energy, and effort and the expense and go through the painstaking task of expense, then you know that these people are not serious. All they are troublers of Israel and nothing but distractors. And we don't need that. And so when you hear me call off the troops, so to speak, and say, let them go, leave them alone, let them run, they'll be no different than Eric Gonzalez. They'll be no different than his Jedediah Malik. They'll be no different than all the rest of the people that we've dealt with over the years. How did it happen over in the book of Acts? And I don't want to give you chapter and verse because I want you to go read it so it sinks deep down in your heart. Think about this. There was men of Yah that was doing the work, and you had these people that was literally upset at them actually making an impact on doing the work. And then there was a wise man that stood up and gave them counsel and says, you know what, you be careful as touching these men. Because if it is a work of Yah, you cannot overthrow it. But if it's not a work of Yah, don't worry about it. It'll come to naught just like everything else. And every single person that has ever risen up against Straightway for all these many years, well over 2 decades, people have risen up. Some of them even taken people with them and scattered, and then they come to naught. They all start off in full force, and then they come to naught, and guess who's still around? Yah's man, PastorDowell. And so the same thing with these people. It's the same thing with a news story. Whenever the news out there speak on anything in reference to politics or whatever it is, it's news for that moment. It may run for a week, at the most 2 weeks. Then after that, they go on to another story. It dies down. It ends up going away. So if we don't give any energy, we don't give any effort to these nefarious people at this particular time, they will die out because we're not giving them nothing, no lifeline, nothing to breathe on. So don't give them attention. Let them keep doing what they're going to do. It's good to keep up with what they're doing and what they're saying, so that way we know what our enemy is doing. But other than that, don't even give them the time of the day because they're simply not worth it. Again, if you cannot meet face to face, and if you cannot sit down in front of the people or get face to face, it's literally, truly not even worth it. Because people can argue and debate and fight and trade words and be disrespectful and dishonorable all day long over the internet. But there's a dynamic. There's something that takes place when it's face to face and personal, because the people that are usually that way over the internet, I found out too many times, more often than not, they dare not do that in person. And if they do that in person, they better get ready for the next escalation. And most times people, they just flee. It really is. It's just sad. So that's the purpose and the reason, because it's real evil. It's real simple to sneak this. It's real simple to disparage people, because you have the safety of miles. You have the safety of air. You have the safety of time. You have the safety of this camera to that camera, and people get bold on social media. But I'm telling you, whatever you see people behind this camera, 100% of the time they are not their way in person. But the way you see me behind this camera, you better believe one thing, I'll be that way in person. I promise you. Either way it goes. And this is the hypocrisy we're dealing with. All right, so remember, watch what the enemy does. Give a little report here and there. Other than that, don't let these people distract y'all from what we're doing here in this dead season. We're busy, and we're making an impact in a lot of people's lives who are serious-minded about the kingdom. Do not let these troublers, Israel, distract y'all. Y'all stay the course, okay? Pass that around, Israel, all right? Shalom. King coming.